one news source. This is NewsCenter1.
Good evening, I'm Caroline Patrikis. Our top story this evening, President Obama has formally asked Congress for military use to fight ISIS overseas. Chad Olson is live on Capitol Hill this evening with those details as our coverage from Washington, D.C. continues. Chad, good evening.
Caroline, that's right. We are live once again right here in our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. It has been an extraordinarily eventful day, both right here on Capitol Hill and at the White House, where, as we told you on Monday and as expected today, President Barack Obama coming forward with his formal announcement and recommendation on authorization of use of force against ISIS in both Iraq and Syria. The president making that formal request for use of force today, asking for a 3-year period of authorization that would include at least limited use of ground forces, American military ground forces in both Iraq and Syria. The president saying that the United States must take an active military role in defeating ISIS terrorists in both Iraq and Syria. President Obama in a formal letter and proposed resolution to Congress calling ISIS, quote, a grave threat that if left unchecked will pose a threat beyond the Middle East, including right here on American soil. We spent the day and most of the day today with U.S. Senator John Thune, who had this reaction to the president's request for use of military force.
So I hope that the president, in his request, has a clear, coherent strategy and plan to win. Because one of the things that I have sensed from the administration, and it's pretty clearly evident, is one, they have a hard time identifying who the enemy is, and two, they really don't have a clear plan or strategy for how to defeat them.
And Senator John Thune, as well as Mike Rounds, both saying that there is no time to lose in making a rapid response in that authorization of force. And as you heard Senator Thune saying right there, they are very concerned that there be both an accurate plan to defeat ISIS and an accurate plan to exit from that conflict in what is that widening war that's now happening in the Middle East against the ISIS terror group. That was not the only moment of action today involving the South Dakota delegation, as Congresswoman Kristi Noem making headlines as well and causing some political fireworks in calling out IRS Commissioner John Koskinen. It was a very interesting exchange today, part of the Ways and Means Committee that Noem is a part of today. That involves the Oversight Committee as well, and Noem taking that opportunity to criticize Koskinen for the lack of forthcoming in providing documents involving that investigation into IRS targeting of conservative groups. Here's what she had to say today about that widening scandal. It started as a Facebook post. Congresswoman Kristi Noem taking to social media saying, this is ridiculous, and the headline says it all. Obama administration won't release IRS targeting documents. Completely unacceptable, end quote.
They continue to withhold documents. They continue to say one thing like the commissioner did this morning in the hearing, but yet do something else. So we will have to take legislative action to go after them.
Today on Capitol Hill, Noem takes that issue to the very top of the IRS, grilling IRS Chief John Koskinen over numerous House requests for documents relating to the IRS targeting of conservative groups.
And in the past, that when they've looked at people and specific groups to target with their audits, that 100% of those people that were audited were conservative groups.
You have said today that there's no evidence of criminal wrongdoing.
For nearly 2 years, Republicans have sought answers to how and why the IRS honed in on conservative organizations, holding up approvals for nonprofit status and launching audits of individuals and businesses considered political enemies of the White House, what some have called an abuse of power equal to Watergate.
It was really egregious, and so this is one of those things where apparently we're going to have to specifically lay out in statute what the IRS can do and can't do.
The question now, can a new Republican majority on Capitol Hill bring any force to bear in getting documents and information needed to continue their investigation? And what could the IRS still be hiding about the motivations behind the targeting scandal?
Let me be very clear. We are going to dig into it. I'm on the Oversight Committee here on the Ways and Means. We have broad jurisdiction, and we've had enough.
And as you heard right there, Congresswoman Kristi Noem very interested in getting to the bottom of some of those answers that Republicans say that they've been waiting for so long about some of those missing files. We think back about the missing hard drives and destruction of IRS data that's plagued some of this investigation. Noem hoping that the Oversight Committee and that new Republican majority will have more success in the coming months getting answers to those questions. And it wasn't only Kristi Noem with interesting things to say on Capitol Hill causing political fireworks. House Speaker John Boehner as well wading into the fray today with some very colorful language about Democrats and their response to the Homeland Security budget issue. John Boehner today with some very interesting words, talking about the Department of Homeland Security budget. He had this to say in his own words.
You know, in the gift shop out here, they've got these little booklets on how a bill becomes a law, right? The House has done its job. Why don't you go ask the Senate Democrats when they're going to get off their ass and do something other than to vote no?
And Boehner's jab today, just the latest skirmish in that fight over Homeland Defense spending bill and portions of that bill dealing with President Barack Obama's executive action granting amnesty to an estimated 5 million illegal immigrants. The House version of the bill stripped funding for the department's implementation of the amnesty provision. Senate Democrats have been unwilling so far to even take a vote on that issue right here on Capitol Hill. Meantime, Mike Rounds, the other portion of South Dakota's congressional delegation, active in his work on the Senate Banking Committee. They're working now to roll back parts of Dodd-Frank in the interest of making things go a little bit smoother and cheaper for community banks in the state of South Dakota. Mike Rounds saying that the regulations are too punitive and that they are too expensive for some smaller banks to meet. Rounds saying that if they can roll back Dodd-Frank and parts of that bill that often subject community banks and small banking staffs to thousands of pages of regulations, it will result in a reduction of cost for those smaller banks and make it easier for those smaller community banks to meet those regulations. It says there's thousands of pages sometimes for a single banking service, such as home mortgage lending practices, and that's something that Mike Rounds says has to change. That, however, is not expected to be an easy fight. Republicans hope to offer legislation that would roll back much of Dodd-Frank, but Democrats, as you might expect, are saying that the revisions, they're open to some revisions of that bill, but they hope that they'll be much narrower in scope than Republicans have asked for. Caroline, we have much more coming up from right here in Washington, D.C., including a check-in with Alia Mueller, who's broadcasting live tonight from the White House. But for now, we'll send things back to you in the studio.
Alrighty, thank you for that report, Chad, and continuing to bring us the very latest headlines live from Washington, D.C. this evening. Here in Rapid City tonight, as the Civic Center expansion continues to grow in conversation, one of the hot topics for everyone on the yes and no side of the issue is the ADA the Don Barnett Arena continues to face. That's why students from all across Rapid City schools got right to the point at the arena yesterday by using wheelchairs to participate, giving students the chance to experience what people with disabilities have to go through. Stevens High School senior Noah Storm, who started his own learning project on the arena, says the Civic Center will eventually be theirs to deal with, so it's important they understand the project that will affect us all here in Rapid City.
They get to see what the deficiencies are and what a struggle it is to be in a wheelchair in any venue, but more specifically about our venue, and that something does need to be done for the ADA updates there.
And currently the ADA issues the arena faces will cost up to $80 million to make it code compliant. In addition to the money spent, it will require a minimum of a 2-year shutdown so construction can take place. Officials tell us it's obvious something needs to be done. It's now just a matter of how residents will vote come March 10th. And there's a vote yes press conference tomorrow in the ADA section of the Don Barnett Arena at 9 a.m. Keep it right here on NewsCenter1 for the very latest details. Until then, Alia Mueller joins us live from the White House this evening with a preview of things to come later in the show. Anya?
And good evening. I'm here broadcasting live at the White House lawn this evening for exclusive coverage right here from Washington, D.C. Now, coming up a little bit later on in the show, I have a personal story of a World War II veteran, Rapid City man Gordon Lease, who said if he had to do it again, he would battle for his country in a heartbeat. That story and more coming up exclusively right here from Washington, D.C. We'll be right back.
This is NewsCenter1 with Chad Olson. Sports with Justin Wickersham. And weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Riggio.
Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Quincy, Adams, Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk, and Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln.
In honor of our great American presidents, we're celebrating our great American lineup. The Jeep President's Day event. Now, well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get low-mileage leases on these 2015 Jeep brand vehicles.
From the time you suspect you're pregnant until your baby reaches her first birthday, life is fragile, and there are important things to know and do as this new little life unfolds. Know the early signs of pregnancy. Start prenatal care as soon as possible. Know that using safe sleep practices will help keep your baby safe. Give your baby the best possible start to a healthy life. For baby's sake.
During our President's Day sale at Fisher Clearance Center in Rapid City, find huge savings up to 65% off on special purchases and closeout items from Fisher Furniture and Fisher Home Galleries. Get a great deal on a 7-piece living room package that includes sofa, love seat, coffee table, 2 end tables, and 2 lamps starting at just $699. Or a 5-piece pub dining set for only $199. Get rocker recliner starting at just $199. Or a queen-size pillow top mattress set for just $288. Chest of drawers are only $49. The President's Day sale through Monday at Fisher Clearance Center, West Main, Rapid City.
Add security with Heat Zenith from Menards. These dual bright lights turn on to 50% brightness at dusk and 100% when motion is detected. The estate is $29.99 each. The carriage is $44.44 each after rebate. Make your home energy efficient with Geldwin windows and patio doors. Energy Star models feature low-E insulated glass and are available in wood or vinyl. All special order Geldwin windows and patio doors are on sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Make Terry Peak your winter fun headquarters. Open daily for a major dose of cabin fever relief. Find all the details at www.terrypeak.com.
And welcome back to News Center 1 at 5:30. I'm Anya Mueller, live from the White House North Lawn this evening for our exclusive coverage from Washington, D.C. Now, the White House, of course, is just one of the many landmarks here in the city, just like the other ones, the Vietnam Wall, the Washington Memorial, the World War II Memorial, and the list goes on and on. I actually got the chance to talk with one World War II veteran, Gordon Lease, a Rapid City man who served his country in World War II. He talked to me about all the memories that remains with him.
I knew some of these guys when they were alive, you know. And it's just as though they moved away.
As Gordon takes me through the Black Hills National Cemetery, he fondly remembers the personal stories of many of his fellow veterans who have passed.
They were both naval officers in World War II. Both of them were lieutenants, and they met in Washington, D.C. and were married after the war. But they're buried side by side in this cemetery. But he and I were hunting partners for about 20 years.
Gordon counts 16 that he knows here that are buried who served in World War II, and a list of 39 who also may be laid to rest here. When I asked Gordon about his Medal of Honor from the French Foreign Legion, he responds quite humbly.
I have to go back to 1944. Our ship did not enter Normandy on the day of the invasion. We got there on the 3rd day. We got there in time to help take wounded out. So it turned out our ship carried out 265 seriously wounded, mostly airborne troops. We took them in our landing craft from the beaches out to the ship and loaded them onto the ship and eventually took them back to England. Well, somebody kept track of which boats and how many. So the president of France says, this guy deserves a medal. So I'm a member of the French Legion of Honor since last July, well, July of 2013. And it's a pretty medal. It's on I've got it on my uniform. But that's how I got that medal. I didn't do anything heroic, but somebody noticed that I did something, so.
And with all of his life experiences, I asked Gordon his advice to future generations.
the main thing is loyalty. If you've got kids, be loyal to them. If you've got friends, be loyal. The fact that someone can rely on you, very important. Loyalty and love make the world. I'm not a practice speaker.
It's good advice. And it was truly a pleasure to talk to Gordon and listen to some of his stories. You can revisit that story on our website at NewsCenter1.tv. You want to stay with us because we'll have more live from Washington, D.C. We'll be right back.
The all-new Silverado Grand Buffet is back, and it's something you've got to see to believe. The Silverado Franklin has again claimed its rightful spot as the best buffet in Deadwood, with a completely new dining room and an endless array of offerings.
The Las Vegas-style spread stretches over 80 feet and includes made-to-order food stations, wood-fired pizza, dessert and salad bars, and of course, all the crab you can crack and prime rib you can eat on Friday and Saturday nights.
The Silverado Grand Buffet, it's all new and all amazing.
As the saying goes, it takes a village. But we think there's more to it than that. At First Interstate Bank, we've come to realize that sometimes all it takes is a single person. A smile, a handshake, a tip of the hat, and the knowledge that you can count on them to be by your side. That things are going to be done and done right. Being a part of our community, it's bigger than banking. It's you and I together.
I was in a head-on collision with a drunk driver, and I spent 21 days in the hospital. Dealing with the runaround and the insurance company was so frustrating. I needed somebody who wasn't afraid to fight for me, and that's when I met Rex Haig. He protected me. He took care of everything and relieved me of all of my worries. Protect yourself against heartless insurance companies.
Don't go it alone. Call us at Whiting, Haig, Dorsey, and Haig. We can help.
Affordable luxury for your home. Make it your own. Motosto.
Your South Dakota Ram dealers are celebrating. Ram is now the fastest growing truck brand in America. The only light-duty pickup that can boast a best-in-class 29 mpg and an available 8-speed torque-fly transmission. And we back it with an unsurpassed 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. It's that good. And now during Truck Month, current pickup owners get $1,000 bonus cash, which means they can lease a Ram 1500 Quad Cab Express 4x4 for just $289 a month. Only $289 a month. Hurry in to your participating South Dakota Ram dealer today.
This weather brought to you by Black Hills Power.
This is NewsCenter1 Weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Riggio.
All right, let's start off looking at the almanac. 36 was our high, well, below normal, folks. Check it out. We are 3 degrees below where it should be this time of the year. That only lasts one day. Today, tomorrow, we're way back above normal. We'll see our temperatures back up into the 50s. 28 currently outside. We have some clouds. A little bit of a breeze out of the north at 17. That's giving us a wind chill. It feels like 16 degrees. Here are the high temperatures across the country. We haven't shown this one in a while, so I thought I'd bring it on up. You can see not too bad down in the Lone Star State, 60s and 70s there, but the cold air is still pretty well locked over the Great Lakes and the Northeast with all the snow on the ground, all the snowbirds. Phoenix, 81, and up in Seattle, 55 degrees. Here's the satellite radar. No rain over the Pacific Northwest. They didn't have any yesterday, none today. That's good news for those folks. A few little sprinkles in New Mexico. More snow is on the way to the New England area. Check it out. There it goes. Another one of those low-pressure areas moving out across that area. They've already had like 75 inches of snow. 75 inches of snow, and they're going to expect a few more inches tomorrow. And we'll enjoy some warmer temperatures, some cold air just to our north. Oh, it tried to make it in, but it won't over West River, but East River will feel a little bit of a chill from that front. So we're going to warm up into the 50s. East River is going to stay rather cold. Here we go. Upper levels, mild temperatures Thursday and Friday. And then this upper level pattern changes to more of a winter-like pattern. There you have it. Tuesday, jet stream coming out of the Arctic, pushing that cold air down into the Black Hills. And that's going to bring us winter-like conditions Monday, maybe some snow on Monday, and then cold temperatures as we Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. Here's our forecast for tomorrow, though. It's going to be nice. 54 in Buffalo, 53 in Spearfish, 50 in Custer. We'll have mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. 55 Belfouche, 56 down in Hot Springs. The forecast for tonight, 25 for the overnight low temperature, mostly cloudy sky. Oh, maybe a few little flurries. And look for some fog. We are expecting to see some fog develop overnight, and then tomorrow morning a little bit of fog in the area. Should be clearing out, though, by the afternoon. A little bit breezy, southerly winds becoming northwesterly, 10 to 15 and gusty. But look at that temperature. That's what we expect. 54 will be the high temperature tomorrow. Then tomorrow night, the overnight low, not as cold as tonight. Lower 30s, partly cloudy skies. And mild temperatures return on Friday. There you see them, 58. Then we'll cool it off a little bit Saturday. Try to warm it up a little bit Sunday. Sunday night, Monday, look for the possibility of snow. We'll keep an eye on that for you on President's Day. And these below normal temperatures stay with us Tuesday through Wednesday. ClipBigDeals.com. Get a self-teeth whitening session of 20 minutes for just $29. It's typically $150. You get that at Whiter, Brighter Smiles.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Bob. Washington, D.C. coverage continues right here after the break. Stay with us.
This winter, your neighborhood gets a whole lot bigger when you drive a fuel-efficient Ford car or SUV with intelligent all-wheel drive. So whether you're taking in a show, getting in a workout, or making some new friends, Ford has the perfect intelligent all-wheel drive car or SUV for you. Welcome to the neighborhood. Now lease a new 2015 Fusion or Escape with intelligent all-wheel drive for just $199 a month, or get 0% financing for 60 months. Visit your local Ford store today.
Feel the beat, the energy, the excitement, based on the smash hit movie that inspired you to never stop dreaming, never stop loving, and never stop believing. Featuring the #1 hit songs Maniac, Gloria, and What a Feeling. One girl, one dream, one chance. What a feeling. Flashdance, the musical.
At the Rushmore Plaza Civic Center, February 20th and 21st.
At Pioneer Bank and Trust, we've partnered with local ranch families for over 100 years. We're a local bank. Ranching is in our heritage, our culture. We started as ag bankers, and we're ag bankers today. Good times and bad, up markets and down, blizzards and droughts. We know production agriculture, and we know you, because we're local. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local ag banking since 1913.
Introducing the Bacon Velveeta Patty Meltdown with grilled onions and applewood smoked bacon. It's the best kind of meltdown, only at Hardee's.
Brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
Good evening and welcome back to NewsCenter1 at 5:30. I'm Anya Mueller, live at the White House. To be more specific, the North Lawn, and it is an enjoyable night here in D.C. tonight. A little cool, but nonetheless very beautiful, and it's truly been a pleasure being able to experience D.C. and getting to spend time with the South Dakota delegation at the Capitol. We wrap up our D.C. coverage tomorrow morning for NewsCenter1 Today. I'll be live at the Lincoln Memorial, as tomorrow is the 206th anniversary of President Lincoln's birth, and many Many commemorate the day in honor of our 16th president and what made him such a fearless leader. That story and much more coming up tomorrow morning for News Center 1 Today, live from Washington, D.C. Stay with us. News Center 1 at 5:30. We'll be right back.
What we feed our kids is getting more complicated. And with all the talk about what's healthy, we're all hungry for truth. That's why South Dakota soybean farmers invite you to join the conversation. We'll put everything on the table and help answer your questions about the food we grow and its safety. So stop by and visit us at hungryfortruthsd.com.
Oh, Abby, my one wish is to keep my health plan.
Wherever I go, people ask me about their health plans.
Ooh, Abby, do I need dental?
No, I insist on a low deductible.
No, we need a low premium.
Oh, can I keep my doctor?
I love my doctor.
Love my doctor.
Luckily, Wellmark has experts like me to answer all your questions.
Is it copay or copay?
Talk to a Wellmark agent today. Open enrollment ends soon.
The fact is, when you engineer a truck like Ram 3500 with the best towing, the best torque, the best payload, and Ram 1500 with the best fuel economy, you'll discover those who work the hardest need more room to play. Get a great deal during Ram Truck Month.
Well-qualified current pickup truck owners get a low-mileage lease on the 2015 Ram 1500 Express Quad Cab 4x4 for $289 a month.
Make Terry Peak your winter fun headquarters. Open daily for a major dose of cabin fever relief. Find all the details at www.terrypeak.com.
Yes, that's right, Caroline. As we continue our exclusive coverage from right here in our nation's capital at Washington, D.C. Today, kind of a lighthearted opportunity on Capitol Hill, an opportunity for members of our state who happen to be in our nation's capital to rub shoulders and shake hands with members of our congressional delegation. It is a tradition that's now known as the Sunrise Breakfast, and this morning it was a chance for people to join in and shake hands and meet and greet with our congressional delegation, the senators John Thune and Mike Rounds, as well as Congresswoman Kristi Noem. They shared a cup of coffee and had conversation today about topics of interest both to them. In some cases, this is sort of a preemptive introduction for those members of the constituency from back home in the state of South Dakota before they have more formal meetings or talks about matters of issue and import coming up later in this week. Although it is a fairly new tradition, it's only started in the first of this year. Those who are on hand today say it is a tradition worth continuing. And so, as you can see tonight, it is a clear night. It is a cold night here in Washington, D.C., but by far the clearest night that we've had of the three that we've been here so far. No snow and no rain, and a beautiful night as we continue our coverage here. We'll see you back here tomorrow as well, right here from our nation's capital. Caroline, back to you in the studio.
Alrighty, thank you, Shad. No snow, no rain here either. It looks beautiful in D.C. It's beautiful
Caroline,
here.
Do you think we could talk management in sending you and me to Hawaii? To our,
Come on, let's do it,
What do you think?
Let's do it.
I think that'd be pretty nice. All right, look at the 7-day. Very nice temperatures tomorrow and Friday. Temperatures in the 50s. We'll cool it off a little bit Saturday. Look for some snow Sunday night and on President's Day.
And keep it right here. We'll see you tonight at 10 o'clock. Have a good night.